All right. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin. I am your host, Vays, coming to you live. Well, at a perfect time for the stock markets to be open if it wasn't Saturday. And I am in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Have not been out on a town yet. I'm going to go out tonight. We'll see what happens. Get a nice steak dinner. Very meat-eating country. So I'm really looking forward to that. No pork in this country. So we're sticking to lamb. It's going to be good. It is mostly Muslim nation. So it's going to be amazing lamb here. And yeah, can't wait. Can't wait to try it. Sure you guys know, big meat eater. So let's go to the charts and see what's going on. The monthly Heikin-Ashi chart will need one more candles close in order to estimate the averages, because that's how these candles function. So there's not much we can do with this chart, but we can take a look at the traditional chart. And we can see we have started the lowest monthly open for a candle since December of 2020. That is unfortunate. That is a new starting low. Wait, is today Saturday? What day is this? It is Saturday. Why does this say Wednesday, the 1st of September? That is weird. That's just weird, right? This says Wednesday, the 1st. You see the bottom of my chart. That. Okay, well, today is Saturday. I thought today was Saturday. Oh, well, that's just weird. Okay. We are coming off a monthly MRI buy, but I care more about that average version with the Heikin-Ashi charts. So hopefully next month is going to begin the new trend up. Weekly chart. The weekly chart is in a terrible position, ready for capitulation. The good news is that the weekly chart is going to give us an MRI buy in a couple of weeks. So hopefully we can avoid this giant disaster and consolidate through time and then go up. Our 4-day chart, I'm going to drop this thing, not really necessary. The 4-day chart, now we're down to 2 more days. I don't think the market is going to crazy rally over the weekend. I think it's going to wait until we get some S&P action tomorrow. So I'm leaving this here. We need a sustained close above 20,000, say 200, and then it should be a really good time for Bitcoin. If you want to play it safe, you can try to time to buy the dip, or another way, just wait for the close up there and then we go up. We're exactly 1 month away from the incredible financial summit in Bali, Indonesia. We're getting a bunch of traders and money managers there. So come and join us. It's going to be a hell of a time. Oh, damn, calendar. All right, I'm going to update this today. Right after I get off this tree, I'm going to update my calendar. I have a better idea of where I'm going. The Indonesian flag looks a lot like the Singapore flag. Well, obviously, they're kind of within the same landmass. And that's where I'll be. I'll swing by Singapore a couple of days after the financial summit. But I am going to spend most of my time in Dubai. I will be in Republic of Georgia over here. I got to tweet out the conference that I will be speaking at. And then very likely back to Dubai. Follow us on all kinds of social media. Daily chart. Daily chart is not looking good, guys. This is looking like it's ready to come back to the bottom of the channel. And once it's at the bottom of the channel, you know, the more times we hit the bottom of the channel, the more likely we are to just crash down. You saw this happen back in May. You've seen this happen before. We were even on a nice little bullish trajectory for a while. It wasn't all that steep of a bullish trajectory. Once we broke that area of support, it was all over. Now, it doesn't always break down. Here's an example of consolidation, all ready to crash down, and the MRI buy saved us flawlessly. This move to the upside lasted for as long as it could, made it back to 50,000. Made it, oh no, this was the move to the all-time high of 68,000. Just as it broke out the prior all-time high, we did, however, ran out of steam. So it is possible to find a bottom within consolidation. Personally, the only thing that was making me bullish here was the MRI. That was my only bullish sign on this daily chart. We can check the weekly chart and how the weekly chart fared in that time period. Right here, the weekly chart had moving average support. It did not have MRI support. The MRI was calling for some serious bearishness, but the moving average support bounced us up nicely. Hourly chart is holding steady this moving average, a little bit of an uptick this hour, but it's going to be tough until we're able to break above these highs. I can probably just extend this line here. Yep, that's a good extension. Unless we can get and establish some serious closes above this line, everything points to more downside. It's the weekend. There's not going to be much to say about commodities. I believe oil is still getting ready to bounce to the upside very soon. They may keep this charade going into the election, but I'm not sure how much longer they will be able to keep the price of oil down, even in a recession, especially now that the natural gas has been sabotaged. There's going to be more of a demand for oil. But if you can't move the gas around, then your fallback is going to be oil. Gold, nice bullish weekly candle. I'm still bearish on gold because it broke two critical support levels, MRI support and prior swing low support. The correlation between the daily price of Bitcoin and the daily price of the S&P, you can see how this correlation has not really materialized. We crashed down. We broke the prior swing low and crashed on September 15th. Meanwhile, Bitcoin since September 15th has been fairly flat. That is a huge discrepancy between the S&P and Bitcoin. We'll see what that means. I'm expecting S&P to find a bottom next month. I don't know why. I don't know how, but I am a technical analyst, and technicals are pointing to some kind of a reversal in stocks next month. My reasons for that are speculation. The Europe is turning, well, it's been a basket case for quite a while, and shit is about to really hit the fan this winter in Europe. And if you have any money left in Europe before it gets confiscated from you, you need to move it to a place where it is less likely to be confiscated. The best two places are, well, three places are gold coins stored in your house, but those could be confiscated with the metal detector. Bitcoin stored in your head until the movie Inception becomes real life. That's fairly safe in your head. And the American stock market. You know, you put your money in the American stock market, it makes it a lot harder to confiscate that money. Oh, shitcoins. I don't want to talk about shitcoins. I am curious how the currencies closed. The euro is likely to forever be below the US dollar because by the time the US dollar implodes, the euro will probably not exist, at least not in its current form. A few countries will likely leave. There might be a different version of the euro, we will see. British pound rallied. It rallied off these ridiculous lows. Almost the euro versus the pound. Let's go to the US versus the pound. The pound is back to $1.11 after taking a nosedive to $1.03. I believe it is going to go below $1 US. You know, wasn't that long ago the British pound was $2 in 2008. If you're an American going, you know, for a vacation in London, you're paying double the price versus now. That's freaking awesome. Well, unless you're a Brit. The Russian ruble is back below 60. It's back to appreciating. It's going to be super interesting what happens now that Russia has called up reserves and formed a military. Mobilization has started. It's very interesting what happens if the Russian ruble appreciates to new high. That means that the world has once again confidence that Russia is in the lead here. The price of the currency tells me a lot about what's going on. The heavily controlled Ukrainian currency is at its all-time low. So it's saying the opposite for Ukraine. This offensive that the Ukraine is doing is not adding any confidence to the Ukrainian currency, which means no matter how you window dress it, I believe that this is about to repeat. Sometime next month, this 25% devaluation of the currency is going to happen again. Sometime next month. It's going to do this. And once it does that, the Russian ruble will likely appreciate. And the moment the Russian ruble breaks parity with the Ukrainian hryvnia currency, shit hits the fan real hard in Ukraine, because at that point, anyone collecting a government salary in Ukraine, which is of course funded by the US, anyone collecting that salary in Ukrainian currency will be a lot more interested in converting that one-to-one to the Russian ruble, which would appreciate. Because as the Ukrainian currency devalues, if you're on a fixed income in Ukraine and you're getting, I don't know, let's say 10,000 Ukrainian hryvnia per month or whatever, like, I don't know, 100,000 because the currency is weak. You're getting 10,000 a month in living wage. That 10,000 is getting weaker and weaker. Meanwhile, if that's converted 10,000 rubles, it's getting stronger and stronger. So now there's a huge economic motivation for Ukrainians to switch and become Russians, which is happening all over the South and the East, because those that aren't familiar with Ukraine, there's a lot of Russians there. A lot of people that identify as ethnically Russian versus ethnically Ukrainian. Who blew up the pipeline? I don't know. I don't know who blew up the pipeline. I can take a wild guess. My wild guess would be the Brits with the assistance of the United States. The two countries that have the most to gain from blowing up the pipeline are basically the Americans and the Brits. because their economies are going down the toilet. And if they could piss off the continental Europeans enough to mobilize a giant army and send that army into Moscow to overthrow the Russians and confiscate all of their natural resources without sending any of their own troops, that is very, very interesting to the Brits and the Americans. That's just my wild guess. I think those are the two countries that have the most to gain by this. It could also be, a crazy climate change person, and it has nothing to do with government. They are apparently very well funded. It could have been some, anti, we should all swim in boats and like travel in boats and not use any oil. And yet I'm sure they used a lot of oil in order to do that damage. When will Russia stop the war? When their objectives are achieved. And if you don't know what their objectives are, then you're not very informed. Also, when they keep offering Ukraine to come to the negotiating table and negotiate for peace, but Ukraine doesn't want to surrender any land, so that's not going to happen. I mean, had the Minsk agreements been fulfilled, there would have not been a war. So there was a war, for a civil war for 8 years. You didn't hear about it. That was in the Donbass. And the Minsk agreement was supposed to stop everything. But the West nor Ukraine was ever interested in abiding by the Minsk agreements, nor the Bucharest or the Budapest agreements from like 10 years earlier. Either way, those agreements were not fulfilled, and the Russians still want those agreements to be fulfilled. So there's not going to be any peace, possibly ever. All right. Any questions? Yeah, markets are very connected to geopolitics. I mean, if you weren't paying attention to geopolitics, then you're probably believing that the euro and the British pound are going to be incredible. By the way, you know how I'm always talking about America breaking up into multiple countries? The UK, you can probably put a fork in the UK being a single, country of 5 different regions. You have Northern Ireland, you have Wales, you have Scotland, you have Great Britain. Oh wait, sorry, that's 4. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Great Britain, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. Is that 4? I think that might be it. They can all break up. They can all break up. I mean, when your currency implodes, and there's only one reason for your currency to implode, political instability. And the UK is, again, in a bit of a shitter right now. Iceland. No, Iceland's not part of the UK. Like, I can't really tell you about what's going on the ground in Russia until I go there. I am curious what's going on the ground in Russia. Somewhat curious what's going on the ground in Kiev as well, but I don't think I'm going to Kiev anytime soon. Used to go there 2-3 times a year. I haven't been to Moscow in a long time, but I'm very curious what's going on the ground there. Yeah, so it is 4: England, Wales, Scotland. Well, England, yeah. Yeah. England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. They're probably going to split. Northern Ireland will probably join the European Union, as stupid as that sounds. They probably will. Scotland would probably finally like to be on their own after, what, 1,000 years? And Wales, I have no idea what Wales is. I've never been to Wales. I've never been to Northern Ireland either. I've been to Ireland. Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Oh, there it goes. There goes Australian dollar. Been waiting for that. Yeah, I was surprised it was that high. Wow, you're about to go lower than what happened during the COVID. I mean, I'd love to go to Australia and spend, buy shit on the cheap, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. Pay down your mortgage or invest in crypto stocks. Is your mortgage fixed rate or variable? If it's fixed rate, then shit, hold on to that mortgage, the best loan you got. No bull market until war ends. This war might not end. This war might not end for a decade. Scotland voted overwhelmingly to remain in the EU. Well, that was a while ago. The world of 2 years ago ain't the world now. The EU is about to potentially go to war with Russia. Does Scotland want to be part of that? I don't know, maybe. Credit Suisse. There's not going to be much to say. Shit looks bad. Weekly chart. Got to go to the monthly chart. I mean, we're in unprecedented lows. Are we lower than 2008? Hell yeah. Wow, the heyday for Credit Suisse. Right here on an MRI top. Perfectly, of course. MRI top 2007. Oh boy, this is bad. Second consecutive MRI monthly buy, and then we still crashed. If this thing goes lower next month, man, this thing is gonna go. I mean, like, you can't short it. There's nothing you can do. You gotta wait for some other stupid bank to buy this bank. That's the thing. If I start trading and I try to document that, it's gonna be very it's gonna take away from the quality of my trading. I can try and do it, but it has to be a one-way communication channel, which means no live chat, no comments to my videos. I'm just gonna want a peace of mind. So maybe I'll just do a weekly snapshot of my portfolio. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't thought that far ahead. My priority for next quarter, after the like next year, is going to be to learn Spanish because I'm moving down to Latin America. Don't know where yet. I'll move around. Learning Spanish and getting back to working out. I haven't worked out in 2 years. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna get going. I gotta go dinner. I gotta try some of this incredible lamb here in Tashkent. Tone, do you think we're going into the space age? No, we're not even close. We can't even get our shit together on this planet. Where are you? I'm in Tashkent. Maybe I can open a Google map. I don't want to dox anything crazy. Where am I? I am here. I am here. I need to go here, actually. So I'm going to try to go here. It's supposed to be an incredible place. I'm not going to make it all the way here. It's too far. But I think I might take a day trip over here. I'm here. Already start some restaurants. And then after this, I'm going here. And then from there, I go to Dubai. Lots of places saved in Dubai. Well, UAE, technically. This little part is Dubai. Never been to Abu Dhabi. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.